Shalom, I'm Brother Rael from Reunited Soul, and in this video, I'm going to discuss how you can use this opportunity to seek the Most High with all your heart and with all your soul, while many of our social distractions have been temporarily suspended. You can seize this moment and seek the Most High, or let this world crisis seize you with worry, anxiety, and fear. So let us nourish our soul with Scripture, that we may reunite with the Most High, the Elohim of Yisrael. All Scriptures will be read verbatim from the King James Version Bible. Now, let's get right into it. Brothers and sisters, for those of you who may find yourselves off work, out of school, and sheltering in place at home due to the current worldwide crisis, you can make good use of this time to read and meditate on the Most High's Word. Try not to get too fixated on the media frenzy, which can cause anxiety and stress, which can also take your focus off the Most High. Instead, take this time to edify yourself with the Word of the Most High and know for certain that He's in control. As in Egypt, He put the Egyptians in very uncomfortable situations as He delivered His people out of bondage. Although Egypt was just one nation, and because the Most High's people are currently scattered, this deliverance will impact many nations. Many of our social distractions are temporarily shut down, such as movie theaters, sporting events, concerts, clubs, restaurants, places of employment, and even religious gatherings. That's right, the church is not exempt from this crisis. The Most High Yah is about His people and the covenant He made with them, which has nothing to do with religion. So we can look at this as the Most High removing all those distractions in the land of our captivity, in order for His people to seek Him with all their heart and with all their soul, because that's what's required to find Him according to His Word. Let's go to it. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 29, and I read, "But if from thence thou shalt seek the Lord thy God, thou shalt find Him, if thou seek Him with all thy heart and with all thy soul." Now think about it. Why would Scripture emphasize with all your heart and with all your soul, then you shall find Him? Can you truly commit yourself to something with all your heart and with all your soul if you're distracted or if your mind is preoccupied? If you answer yes, then perhaps you don't understand what it takes to have that level of commitment, the level of focus and discipline that elevates you above the rest. For example, this level of commitment is what separates champion athletes who are destined for greatness from those who are not so committed to the game. The difference is like day and night. It's quite apparent. Likewise, seeking the Most High with all your heart and with all your soul will separate you from the rest of the Most High's people who are not so committed to Him. Those seeking the Most High will gravitate towards Him, while others will be caught up in the religious doctrine promoted by the land of our captivity. A remnant will receive His word as their authority and not bow to the idols of their captivity, while the rest will pursue the doctrines of men. Whatever the case may be, the Most High will gather only a remnant of His people, according to Jeremiah chapter 23, verses 3 through 4, and I read, "And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of the countries whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith the Lord." As you can see through Scripture, the Most High revealed what will become of His remnant. It's quite apparent that the Most High is with them and will provide for them. Now let's be clear. The Most High will not forsake His people. If you continue reading, you'll see in verses 5 through 6, the Most High's plan for His people according to Jeremiah chapter 23, verses 5 through 6. In my videos, I like to focus on the Most High's remnant, because not only will they be gathered first, they're obviously doing something that majority of his people are not doing. I also focus on the fact that majority of our people identify as being of the Christian faith or New Testament doctrine believers. Now, to the layperson, this may sound like good news indeed. However, when you take Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 64 into account, you must take heed to the prophecy. That's if the word of the Most High is your authority. Let's go to it. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 64, and I read, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone." Now, this scripture is highly disregarded, although it's very clear. The Most High is not making a suggestion. He's not saying there's a possibility or there's a chance that you might serve other gods. Or hey, be careful. No, not at all. The Most High is telling his people that it's going to happen, period. And he will make good on his word. This scripture also mentioned gods that are not known to our ancestors. Pay very close attention to this, for it actually gives us a clue as to something new the Most High's people will be exposed to while scattered during their last captivity. So let's think back to the transatlantic slave trade when our ancestors arrived here on slave ships. What religion do you think they were exposed to and later adopted as their very own, while suffering terribly at the hand of the nation promoting that very same religion? Most of you know the answer to that. You see, our ancestors were strangers to the New Testament scriptures when they came here. Remember, gods which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. It's scriptures such as these that our people need to be meditating on while sheltering in place in our homes without all those distractions. Now, to a remnant of our people, Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 64 will be obvious, and they'll take heed, while majority of our people will fulfill it. They will not understand their error until the Most High execute judgment and justice on the earth, as described in Jeremiah chapter 23 verses 5 through 6. Remember, Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 29 tells us to seek him with all our heart, with all our soul. Take advantage of this unique opportunity while the world system seems to be slowing to a halt. Social distractions have been minimized, and meditate on this and understand what it means. With all your heart and with all your soul. It doesn't require for you to be a biblical scholar or speak Hebrew or be part of some special group or ministry. The Most High is not searching your library to see how many different Bibles you have. That doesn't impress him. He's searching for your heart, according to Jeremiah chapter 17, verses 9 through 10, and I read, "The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways, and according to the fruit of his doings." There you have it. Deceitful and wicked, according to the Most High's word. Your heart can deceive you. It can deceive others. What it won't do is deceive the Most High. Don't underestimate what you're dealing with. As you may very well know, there is much deceit and dishonesty in this world that we live in, even more so in the land of our captivity. And we, as a people, have been the target of that deceit and dishonesty ever since our ancestors arrived here on the slave ships. Now, as punishment for their transgressions, the Most High made our ancestors serve 70 years in Babylonian captivity. But we, however, are serving 400 years here. Now, imagine us, a people who are supposed to be a holy people, dwelling in a toxic environment of hate and depravity for the past 400 years. Think of the damage done to our health, to our minds, to our hearts. Take our musical talent, for example. Our once beautiful and wonderful music produced by our people, enjoyed by our people, has turned into degrading gutter trash entertainment and paraded around the world stage to our shame. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 37 describes it best, and I read, "And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations whither the Lord shall lead thee." Remember our ancestor, King David, before he was king, played beautiful music that soothed King Saul from the evil spirit that plagued him. Our musical talent, among other things, is second to none. But as we speed towards the end of our captivity, the deterioration of our moral values are on a fast downward spiral. So again, brothers and sisters, while you're spending more time at home sheltering in place during this world crisis, use the time wisely. View it as a ceasefire, where your mind is not getting bombarded with constant outside distractions. Let me repeat that. View it as a ceasefire, where your mind is not getting bombarded with constant outside distractions. Get into the Word of the Most High in the Tanakh or Old Testament scriptures and meditate on it. Seek Him with all your heart and with all your soul. This level of attention and focus may be more attainable now that social distractions are momentarily shut down. If there are any videos you've seen in the past that edified you, take the time to watch them again. Sometimes once may not be enough, or you may hear something now that you didn't hear before. Lastly, stay updated but not fixated on this crisis, and stay aware of your surroundings. With that being said, always keep your trust in the Most High. Love Him with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. See to it that your household is in line with the word of the Most High as best you can. I thank you for taking the time to watch. Again, I am Rael, your reunited soul brother. And with that, I say to you, Shalom.